During the 1990s, several things happened in the United Kingdom. Margaret Thatcher finally left as Prime Minister, several ITV franchises were lost to some bidders, and the fifth terrestrial television channel launched, Channel 5. Channel 5 standards were set out in the Forsaken Broadcasting Act of 1990, which required it to be a general entertainment channel that had a remit. Obviously, most channels had a remit, so that's why Channel 5 needed a remit too. By 1992, the Independent Television Authority, ITC, decided to open the floodgates into making Channel 5 a reality. Some bidders included the Canadian conglomerate CanWest, Sony Pictures, Columbia TriStar, and Thames Television. CanWest and Sony both decided to leave in July, leaving Thames to try and do it. But businessman Moses Zamer is left to get the project going. On the 7th of July, Channel 5 Holdings Limited submits a bid, but is rejected in December because of poor business plans. The ITC then buggers the idea of even having a Channel 5 to begin with. Later, in 1993, a technical review is put out about the findings for Channel 5, to which 70 parties respond to. Some express interest in running the new channel if the ITC decides to re-advertise it. In February 1994, the ITC considers re-advertising the license for Channel 5, only if they had the frequencies to allow such a decision to take place. With one frequency unavailable, the other can cover 60% of the UK, which was a meh from everyone, as long as they had the channel. Then in September, the ITC re-advertises the Channel 5 license, and everyone went to town in November. By May 1995, 4 bids are received, from New Century Television Limited, who bid £2 million, Virgin Media with a bid of £22,002,000, UK TV with a bid of £36,261,158, and Channel 5 Broadcasting Limited with a bid of £22,002,000. Channel 5 Broadcasting Limited is awarded the license in October, which pisses Virgin Media off, more precisely Richard Branson, and they challenge the ITC's decision in the High Court. They lose. The ITC then demands that 50% of the programming must be original, which can't be too bad, can it? Then the process of the UK actually being able to watch the Dan channels began, with test transmissions beginning in mid-1996, and in a few months, Channel 5 would slowly begin to appear on the British person's TV box like a filthy conservative virus from hell. That's not a joke. 45,000 people calling the regulator because of interference, well, at least from 13,000 people. To this day, we still don't know what those other 33,000 people were suffering from. It seemed like Channel 5 were aware of this, because at the start of February 1997, viewers saw this when tuning into the channel, asking them to call them if they experienced interference. At the end of February, they updated the picture to look nicer, I guess.
Welcome to Channel 5's test transmission. Channel 5, Britain's 5th free TV channel, will begin broadcasting programmes on this frequency on March the 30th. In the meantime, we need your help, as our signal may cause interference on equipment connected to your TV.
Still, the channel was begging us to give them 5. 5 what? 5 punches to the face? March then comes around, the moment the channel is actually meant to launch. Channel 5's teletext system, 5Text, is set up, albeit very shoddily. The Spice Girls managed to twist a Manfred Mann song just in time for the launch, which you can have your own take on. And on the 30th of March, the final countdown began to Channel 5.
Welcome. It's 6 o'clock on Sunday, March the 30th, and this is 5.
I refuse to play this song that was shown on launch in fear that my video will be struck down by the copyright gods. The schedule for launch night consisted of a new soap opera, a fresh comedy, a gritty drama, another fresh comedy, more comedy, sports, and some Australian soap opera. It really says a lot when the most viewed programme that evening was the first programme introducing the channel itself, with 2.49 million viewers. The first channel to be shown on Channel 5 was, ironically, Chanel No. 5 perfume. Kellogg's also advertised on Channel 5, having been in the first ad breaks for ITV and Channel 4 too. The original look for Channel 5 consisted of the number 5 in a circle of candy-colour background of stripes, which we all know was intentional. As for the idents, they were originally a festival of bright colourful lights, spinning logos, whispering women, nature images, and other oddities like an elevator and a man showing off his killer dance moves that rivals any act on Britain's Got Talent. Also included in Channel 5's presentation was the inclusion of an on-screen dog, or digital on-screen graphic, which annoyed 70% of viewers who wanted it gone, even though by the time they were bitching about it, the channel had already turned down the dog a few weeks after launch to the point where you could barely see it, so there's really no point in complaining about it. Still, they battered on about the dog's mere existence until the channel rebranded in 2002. But we'll get back to that a bit later on. Nevertheless, presentation-wise, it is a very nice set of idents, with a good use of colour and very mesmerising music. Though I do not like that woman whispering 5. As though she's some Playboy model wannabe who got stuck with Channel 5, which isn't the best alternative, but whatever. As well as the main Channel 5 network, during the morning, little children were entertained, and arguably still are, with Milkshake, a festival of programs that no one has ever heard in many decades. Their original look was actual milkshake that spells out the word milkshake, would you have guessed? There were also strands for teenagers, which originally came out completely unbranded, but later came to be known as the Core. Its image reflected its audience, somehow. That was until they basically became a young adult strand in 2001, even airing Home and Away for some unknown reason. As for Channel 5 itself, its idents would remain on screen until February 1999, when they were updated for some funky idents featuring celebrities, which, according to Channel 5's marketing, were taking the mickey out of the channel. These included Lenny Beige, Sari Carwood, Neil Fox, Bradley Walsh, Gloria Hunniford, Keith Floyd, Melinda Messenger, Charlie State, Rob Butler, Rob Glass, Kate McIntyre, and Lucy Alexander. Jim Heitner, Channel 5's marketing director, said that our new idents involve our channel's personalities/celebrities who actually take the mickey out of the channel or take the mickey out of themselves, which tries to express a confidence to the viewer that we have about ourselves. Rather bold, I think so. This image of using real people for the idents was unheard of at the time, as ITV were in the process of a change both regionally and presentation-wise. And the BBC was still happy with balloons and twos getting massacred. Still, Channel 4 had a pop at it for a few years, until they gave up. Some idents were cringe, like the one for Rad, give me a break. Some made no sense, like the one with Rob Butler thinking about the news, even though he's too busy playing with his Nintendo 64 and his stupid yo-yo. Keith Chegwin decides to strip naked in this ident, Elvis appears in this ident, things get dark and gothic in this ident, as some chicks appear in this Easter ident. The goal seemed to be to present Channel 5 in a more light-hearted manner than the often neo-noir feel of the previous idents, although this hasn't been confirmed. These idents have seemed to have inspired ITV, later ITV1, to create some celebrity idents for themselves in 2002 when the channel lost its regional identities that it had been known for. Still, it wasn't like they were going to last long, not long at all. This would come to be the case in September 2000 when new idents were introduced. New celebrities were included, like Dennis Wise, Jerry Sadowitz, Boy George, Faye Tosser, Jonah Lumu, Linford Christie, and Leslie Grantham, As well as for celebrities themselves, other variants included several film idents, sci-fi idents, sports idents, one for a night of fantasy heroes, and one for a night of witches and demons. These later idents would make the tear in the wall, as it was called, rather pointless, as the tear was just tearing past some brightly coloured shapes that followed a pointless one-colour palette of yellow, blue, pink or orange. Still, Channel 5 had a plan up their sleeve, a big one that would drastically change the channel's look for the rest of the noughties. But until then, 2002 would see the slow fade out of the use of the word Channel 5, as the announcers began referring to the channel as simply 5. This was all part of the plan, along with the mind of Trevor Beatty and loads of millions of pounds in cash. Then, for no reason at all, Channel 5 introduced a new set of idents that dumped the celebrities and made way for some brightly coloured, flashy bullshit that we haven't seen since the dark years of the 90s. 5 squares, 5 beats, 5 bars, but no point really. You could argue that this is a boring set of idents, to which you are 100% correct. But Channel 5 were going to transform into something bigger and arguably more memorable than anything that they were before. However, that was 6 months away, and until then, you'll just have to put up with the simplistic bullshit that was supposed to give the channel a more sophisticated look, as if the logo doesn't say sophisticated enough. Someone at Channel 5 said, "The new idents reflect the evolving nature and maturing content of the channel. The Channel 5 creative department have refreshed the core brand elements to produce a smarter and more sophisticated on-air look." A statement so unbelievably backwards from what they said a few years prior. "This doesn't represent confidence. That's Channel 4's job, you stupid asshole." But in terms of TV idents, it's not the worst. But I think the main reason that these idents don't really work for me is that they were approved by David Pullen, Channel 5's new marketing and communications director. He previously had a job at MTV, which says it all. MTV may have a colourful brand, but their content doesn't really scream music, which is dumb because it's in the bloody name. Indeed, the idents did evolve, as the broadcaster said it would, including several movie idents, one for soaps, crime dramas, and racing. There's even one for Fifth Gear. Yeah! Remember that show? It doesn't matter if you didn't, because I didn't. Which makes sense because I wasn't around in 2002. Still, Channel 5 plodded along on its last footsteps where they could even be asked, with the sheer fact of mentioning their true name of Channel 5 instead of saying 5 whenever possible.
You're watching 5.
Now on 5.
Now on 5.
Now on 5.
This desperate plea to be rebranded with Beatty's name written all over it. Then, on the 16th of September 2002, the channel's wish was granted.